dominated the world have used money to rule it and have ruled it in their own interest. It looks at a world economic system that has no regard for the poor, that has no regard for the small nations, that has no regard for the poor of the small nations. And the policy is a dignified policy, is not a violent policy, is not a policy of guns. It's a very honorable policy, but it is a very clear policy. It is a policy that calls the poor of the world to stand together, to stand firm together, to struggle together, to struggle for change, to struggle for justice, to struggle through organization, to struggle through will, to struggle through determination, to struggle to build a new kind of world in which your children and mine will walk with more dignity, with better housing, with better opportunity, with better prices, with better response from the World Monetary System. That is the world to which I call you. That is the world for which I struggle, and no power will turn me back from that world. And comrades, if you go and walk with me, if you go and step with me, if you go and move with me, we're moving as warriors. We're moving in determination. We're moving to struggle. We're moving to change that world. No power will turn us back.
Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green, dog. Me no chow-chow. No. Ha, 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 ho, ho. Who ya know?
But if change is what you really want to see, ladies and gentlemen, then we must rise up. We must unite. We must advocate. We cannot remain silent. Where are the young men, the young women, the men, the women, the boys, the girls who will put aside political divide and do what is best for Jamaica? Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. Even our pledge, our national pledge, says before God and all mankind, we cannot see a better Jamaica unless we return to the foot of the cross. Jamaica under God must increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity, and play our part.
If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I said I'm happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his hand. Yes, mommy, I see you. Yes, the journey's almost over. Shut up. And the battle is nearly won. And I have a feeling. I have a feeling in my heart. The best is yet to come. Slide up it over there, so who not ready to get, who not get up now, man. I feel mad in this place. Let's go. I am happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his. Over there, so I said the journey's almost over. I know the battle is nearly won, and I have a feeling in my heart the best is yet. Come on, sir. I said the best is yet to come. When I walk through heaven's gates, yeah, I said the first time I'll see Jesus, I can hardly wait. And he showed me to a mansion and said, child, this is your home. And I have a feeling in my heart. You know this one? Listen, Chuck, tell me.
Oh, you know.
I want to hear the angels singing. I want to be in that number. I want to hear that trumpet song. We have done now. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear archangel. Oh, I want to hear when my name is called. I want to hear. Everybody know I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. Watch out now. I want to see the angel marching. I want to be in that number. I want to hear. I want to hear that trumpet song. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear. God bless you now. I want to hear when my name is called. I want to hear. Everybody do so. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be. Get something and wave it. Get something and wave it. Get something out. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be happy. Walk out, Christian, walk out, Christian. I only live my life to please. Send me rocking for the road and the star on my phone. I only live my life to please. Live up my life. Come on, man, we have done, man. Everybody so. Live up my life. people, and no one prayer we pray. We pray.
Blood and fire, comrades who are in jungle tonight. On the nose that the word is love. Comrades, me come with a speech, but it's a different speech me have to give tonight. But before I go into that, we have been saying all night that young people know say time come. And I want to bring up a young man who has looked for himself, him read for himself, him search for himself, and when him done, him realize that the only choice he could choose is the People's National Party. And I want to welcome Comrade Perry.
Hold on. We don't have much time. When I say time, you say come. Time. Senator Murray, somebody asked me, Perry, why aren't you a Labourite? Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Who ya know? Underpants, Paolo. We the gal in the
Hold on, cut in, man. Hold on.
Me coulda never green.
Hold on, no DJ, man. Hold on. I don't have much time. The next Prime Minister, let me shake your hands. So big up yourself, Mark Golin, Jensek, and brother, Dayton Campbell Doctor. Listen, in 1938, the People's National Party was formed out of the vision to help the poor people. It was born out of restlessness of the people seeking for better. And I believe that the People's National Party continues to be the answer for the people. Can I hear an amen? Hold on. In 1995, under the auspices of P.J. Patterson, the most honorable, there was a revitalization and an extension of the new National Youth Service Program, which gave young people the opportunity to earn commandment church. It gave people the opportunity to better themselves. I don't have much time, but hear what? I hear the other people them say, you must choose Jamaica, but you can't choose Jamaica without choosing the people. God bless you.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow.
Move your club, comrades.
Comrades, I want to let you know that young man is the former guild president at the University of the West Indies. That is the kind of young people that we attract in the People's National Party.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
You must go to prison, and you must go to prison. Vaz, you must go to prison. Mackenzie, you must go to prison. What a mess, 40 billion in a debt. Andrew, a talk and no certified yet. The green politicians, them afraid of wholeness. Nationwide, them a talk and sweat. Yellow bus scandal, procurement breach. Head a figure roll or them drown in a beach. Don't stop talk, Perry, don't stop preach. And Marie mode nasty, you want some bleach. Lord God, perspective, big up yourself.
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Oh. Corruption in the nation, what a sticky situation. Always see a degradation, innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor, tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people a go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now walk it, the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping. Corruption in the nation, what a sticky situation. Always see a degradation, innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor, tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them machine the housing trust, but people a go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now walk it, the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it.
Perspective with Perry Cummings Jr. Big up yourself. The best is yet to come. This is my perspective, telling you my perspective. This is my perspective to bring change that I feel me objective. Scandal after scandal, look where Jamaica come to. Them a rob the money and a thief a lot too. Election tactics, what a disgrace. Them cut off ribbon and the place no safe. It's a prime minister, are you me a address? Police a kill off the youth if you check. Talking about the way country are the best. But though this are my perspective, telling you my perspective. These are my perspective to bring change that I feel me.
I'm pressing on the upward way. New heights I'm gaining every day. Still praying as I'm onward bound. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up, come on, and let me stand by faith on then stable land. Higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Can I do verse 2? My heart has no desire to stay where doubts arise and fears dismay. Though some may dwell, my God, where these abound, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on then stable land, a higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up. Come on, perspective. And let me stand, my God, by faith on it. Then stable and a higher place that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our soon coming King. Yes, man, you know I represent the good Lord above. Greetings to my perspective family. I'm feeling sweet in my spirit. Blessings to you all, blessings to you all. A higher ground. Jamaica needs to be at a very higher places where Jamaica needs to be. Where we are today is not a good place. Shanika, bless you. I'm well. How are you? How is everybody doing? I wasn't here yesterday evening. I was here yesterday on Clarion Call. But we're here this evening because we have some very serious matters to discuss. We need to be at a higher place. We're at a very low and dark, gloomy place in Jamaica. I want the Lord to carry us to a higher place. Mighty God of Daniel. If the Lord doesn't look down on Jamaica and intervene, we're going to be in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be in trouble. Let me know where you're viewing from before we get the show on the road. Let me know where you're viewing from, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Perspective and I'm your host, Perry Cummings Jr. Yes, Pamela, I know you missed me. I missed you too. I had to be on All Angles yesterday. Anybody watch All Angles last night? God is good. East Portland, North East St. Elizabeth, Islington, St. Mary, Blessing, Silos, St. Elizabeth, Toronto, Canada, Ginger Hill, St. Elizabeth, Kingston at Work, CA, Bay Road, Westmoreland, Upper St. Andrew, Niagara Falls, Canada, Kingston 20 in the house, Delaware, South Florida, USA. Blessings, come on in. For we're inviting you all to come along. We're having a glorious time. Virginia, Portmore, Maryland, New Jersey, mighty God, East Portland, Longville Park, Clarendon, Portsmouth, Virginia, USA, England, Southfield, St. Elizabeth, East Portland is in the house. Mona, my place, Una in the house too. Who else? Tampa, Florida, Toronto is in the house. Curacao is here. Who else? Who else? Crooked River, Clarendon. Nersha tell them it's only Clarendon that's so crooked. You know crooked, you know. Not like this unforgiving government. Very crooked. St. Elizabeth is representing Carroll. Blessing, Louisville, New York, Brooklyn, Wisconsin. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Hertford, Westmoreland, Maypen, Clarendon, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Sister Sonia Newman, blessings, Orlando, Florida. So many more that I can tell. We're inviting you all to come along. We're having a glorious time. Friendship Monique, Port Lucie, Bobok is in the house. We're going to a city where moon might never shine. Jenny Stewart, blessings, man. Oh, we may not know, we cannot tell. Others will be there. Listowel, Ontario, Canada. For God himself will be our light to guide us on our way. How you feeling, ladies and gentlemen? Blessings, blessings to you all. We have some very serious conversations to have. I am pretty sure. You see, I'm in my orange tonight because I recognize that, again, the Jamaica Labour Party administration, they are trying to wage war as per usual against the opposition. But we will not allow this uncaring government to wage war against the opposition. Remember, Dr. Angela Brown Burke, she take up the mace, pandemonium in Parliament. And now we see where the Speaker of the House again is trying to bully another brilliant member of Parliament. But we will not allow it. We're going to get there. But ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of other matters that we want to touch on. I want to start by, because I wasn't here last night, so I'm pretty sure you guys may have been briefed about it. But I want to give my take on the Portmore councillors who had to push against the disgusting government claim of approval delays. You remember when the Minister of Education talk about the need for NARA, and it is the bureaucracy and the red tape that resulted for over 18 months no fence being put up at Naggohead Primary, and Senator Motley had to lay it straight and plain. Remember to like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. She had to lay it plain and straight and say, what will NARA solve here? Will NARA be able to just take land? The Portmore councillors dished it out. A lot of things are falling apart. And I want persons to follow what is happening. Listen to this.
Councillors in Portmore St. Catherine have taken aim at members of the government for criticizing the local authority for taking too long to give approval for the Naggohead Primary School to build a perimeter fence to reduce several security breaches at the institution. The issue was hotly contested at the corporation's monthly meeting today. Krista Campbell has our story.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon in the Senate on Friday.
I know nobody spoke about the letter that I wrote to the municipality begging them to do the approval and that they've never responded to me. That's a part of here. I have all of the correspondence here.
Portmore Mayor Leon Thomas at Wednesday's monthly municipal corporation meeting 5 days later.
And I don't believe that she get the facts, but I'm advising her. Get the facts before you speak.
The councillors say they feel slighted by government members' criticism of the local authority moving sluggishly in giving approval for the Naggohead Primary School to build a perimeter fence. In a letter, Member of Parliament for East Central St. Catherine, Orlando Terrelong, said the Education Ministry has allocated $40 million for the fencing to be done. And 2 years later, the municipal corporation has not given the approval. Mayor Leon Thomas's response.
We have given the school the go-ahead to start construction. And also, we have even gone a step further to give them a waiver to construct the fence at the school.
In fact, the mayor says that approval was given almost a month ago. It's why the councillors are accusing the education minister of being misinformed, and one councillor even going a step further.
It's a sad day when a minister, up until now, 1 week and odd, would have saw that she erred in her delivery and has not recanted or make a public statement afterwards.
So I'm surprised of the minister went to the Senate and holding documents saying that the Portmore City Municipality did not grant approval over a period of time for the fence to be built, and if NARA was around, that would not.
If it is that one entity or a single entity would have made a rush decision, then the school perhaps would have just gotten the land, leaving the community out in the cold.
Now, the issue of the school fencing started in 2024 when the municipal corporation said the institution started building the fence without first getting approval from the local authority. A church, which has been occupying the 8.1-acre property for 24 years, was at risk of being evicted as the Citizens Association insisted it was given the land to build a park. The municipal corporation says settling the dispute in a manner that benefits all parties has taken some time, but noted that the process had to first go through several state bodies.
And the no objection letter came from NEPA November 1st, 2024. That letter was written. The Portmore City Municipality sent their no objection letter March 31st, 2025. And the Ministry of Education sent their no objection letter May 16th, 2025, which would have been 6 months after NEPA wrote to them.
The church has been allowed to lease 1.9 acres of the land, while the community park and school will occupy the remaining 6.2 acres. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Coming up later in this newscast, U.S. President Donald Trump lands in...
Liar, pants, well, I should say skirt on fire. But I know, you wear pants and skirt, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon. Liar, pants and skirt on fire. Liar, every bit of garment on you should go on fire. Because the Bible made it very clear that all liars will burn in the lake of fire. Liar.
The enemy of fire. You can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
Minister of Education, why are you misinforming that you are the Minister of Education and Information? Yet you went into Parliament and misinformed the entire country, the world at large, the region. You went on a parade misguiding and misleading the people of this country to try and control a narrative. It is deceitful what this government continues to do, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to quote a scripture for Dr. Dana Morris Dixon. Proverbs 12:22 tells us clearly, the Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Andrew Holness-led administration was built upon lies and deceit. And that is the reason why the Minister of Education could go in the House of the Senate and make it seem as if the Portmore municipality did not give the go-ahead for the incompetent administration to go and build a fence for the school. The year of exposure is now. The disgusting and atrocious line of abominable administration in the name of the Andrew Holness-led administration is the most lying administration in the history of this country. They lie so easily, ladies and gentlemen.
Sakata. We are mash up, fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, fire, Bishop. I got your back. Fire, fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, Eastwood Park Road. Come. Cover your pastor. Cover your pastor. Go in, Bishop. Go in, Bishop. Take down the Illuminati. Take down the voodoo. Take down the Freemason. Take down the witches. Take down the warlock. Take down the Wabiaism. Under the Holy Ghost, left him.
How can an administration that continues to trumpet against misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda. How can an administration wage war against misinformation when you are doing the very same thing? Do you remember, ladies and gentlemen, when the Prime Minister came out, me not afraid and nobody, and him a wage war? Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his administration have frequently raised concerns about the spread of misinformation and fake news on social media. His government has actively campaigned against what they describe as deliberate mischief and false narratives designed to confuse the public and divide the country. My God Almighty. Look at what them say. Cock mouth kill cock. Ladies and gentlemen, this was what the Prime Minister said. He waged war against misinformation because the PNP bloggers not stop beat them left, right, and center. They can't take the pressure, so them come and talk about them and wage war against the people them who have spread misinformation and disinformation. Mr. Prime Minister, will you hold your incompetent Minister of Education for the blatant misinformation that she said in the House in the House of Senate, in the House of Parliament? She went to Senate and told a blatant lie on the Portmore Municipal Corporation, making it seem as if they are the ones who were lacking the luster needed to get the fence erected. Lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, the proof came out to the public and to tell the entire world, Jamaica, the world at large, that the culprits behind the delays is in fact the government of this country. We don't need to wire them unknown galleys with any misinformation. We leave that to the Minister of Education. Well, clearly, you looked at the people of this country, Minister of Education. You knew quite well that it wasn't the fault of the Portmore Municipal Corporation. It wasn't the fault of the councillors. But in order to control the narrative, because I want to say something here, don't you recognize what the aim of this government is? Their aim is to always be in control of the narratives. They don't want to be under the purview that they are the ones to be held accountable. So they always try to do damage control. They focus so much on the PR of their administration, and they fail to actually do the work of any good government. Just think about it. Every time people hold them accountable, the aim is to always try and twist the narratives, oftentimes twisting it with lies, Gloria Suyabi, and more lies. Blessings, Opal Demetrius. The aim is to always twist narratives with the lies. Instead of looking into your ministry and look at the failures of the Ministry of Education, you have the energy, the gall, the audacity. You're so audacious. The audacity of you to come and tell lying to people. The people say, to date, you have not come to the public to retract your statement, to apologize to the people, and to take some accountability for your lies. But you want Dr. Angela Brownberg to apologize? You see the hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen? The Andrew Holness administration, the labor rights, how quick they demand an apology from Dr. Angela Brownberg. How quick they want apologies from Dr. Dawes. How quick they want an apology from Nickeisha Burchell. How quick they demand apologies from the opposition. How quick they want an apology from the JTA president. This administration is a joke. It's a joke. Huh? Here is what Holness said. The Prime Minister has repeatedly urged Jamaicans to fact check, God Almighty, the information they consume, warning that viral misinformation can cause panic and harm democratic choices. He has specifically addressed and dispelled rumors regarding the government's performance. Oh really? Oh really? This is the stance of Mr. Holness, you know. Mr. Ho, I remembered asking you a question last year. I don't forget these things, you know. I remembered asking this government if they are willing to hold their own members accountable when they spread misinformation. Before you wage war against misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda, Mr. Holness, you need to ask yourself the question if you are at a place where you're willing to wage war against your own people. Because the people who spread the most misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda are the people in green.
Fire. And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare.
Please, Mr. Knight, please.
I'm suggesting that you are pathologically mendacious.
Mr. Knight, that is an improper suggestion.
Why?
And an improper...
After he just said what he just said?
Yes.
It's pathological.
Mr. Knight, please continue your cross-examination if you so intend to.
He was referring to what you said, a ruling you made.
And he laughed at you.
And laughed. You have a pathological condition when it comes to telling the truth. And I'm suggesting to you that you have misled, you have conspired, and you have deceived the parliament, the people of this country, and the inquiry, this commission, the diaspora and every Jamaican, and that you, Prime Minister, should pack your bags and go.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Small.
But Mr. Chairman, you need to put your foot down.
Put my foot down or what? Adjourn it?
Well, take charge.
Pathologically mendacious. That is what this Andrew Holness administration is. They are pathological liars. They continue to deceive the people to protect their labor right image. An image that is already corrupt, tainted, marred. The amount of scandals under the Jamaica Labour Party, it is unprecedented. This is the most corrupt administration in the history of Jamaica's politics. Pathological liars. Disgraceful Dr. Dana Morris Dixon. You should come out and apologize for the lies you spread. You should come and apologize to the Portmore Municipal Corporation. The people gave you the go-ahead. The people gave you the permission. The people gave you the stamp of approval. But because this government simply does not care about the people of this country, not even for the children. Can you imagine? May is Child's Month. Tomorrow is National Children's Day. And this government for over 18 months refused to build a fence around the school to protect our children. The Minister of Education, have you no heart? Have you no conscience? Shouldn't you be the voice for our children above every other voice in this nation? You're the Minister of Education. You too represent all of our children. If anybody else should be advocating for the erection of that fence, it should be you. And instead of doing that, you people sit down on billions of dollars. When we spoke, you see, when people like me talk, them say we are spread propaganda because, oh, Perry, you are die-hearted PNP. You're right. But I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person. And the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, this government is sitting on billions, if not trillions of dollars. And they refuse to spend the money to help the people of this country. Nobody has any time to tell me, like, listen, I'm a man of God. I was brought up in the church, in a Christian home. I have no time to play nasty politics and tell lie on people. The truth is what I used to beat you on unconscionable labor rights every night. I don't need to spread any lies on you. You people are sitting on billions of dollars, if not trillions, and you people refuse. Now let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. Because, listen, I'm not holding back tonight. Let me ask a question, ladies and gentlemen. How is it that this government campaigns year after year, because they're always in campaign mode, you know? This government campaigns on prosperity. Isn't that what the Prime Minister said when he was campaigning years ago? It burns me to play this clip, but you know, for emphasis, I may have to play a piece of this clip. My viewers, please, my lovely Perspective family, bear with me. But I hate to promote liars. But on this occasion, just listen to what the Labour Party continues to campaign on.
We will bring down the interest rates on mortgages, but we will use the NHT money to build housing rather than to take it back to go pay the IMF. Your money that you save for house should be available to you to build house, repair your house, improve your house, and buy land. The Jamaica Labour Party makes that commitment to you. But there are over 300 housing developments just sitting there. Can't happen. You know why? No water. So if you invest in water, make water supply accessible and reliable, then people will start to build house and housing development. And you know what that means? It means jobs in the construction sector for our unemployed. And that means more man, I get more pay, so him can take care of his baby mother or his wife. That him can save up, buy him little car, start through partner again. But this is what growth means. It's when your household economy grows, the Jamaican economy grows. It's when you can do better in your house. It's when your banana tree, instead of having one, you know, have 2, 3, 4, 5 because you have water that can grow. It's when your melon get bigger because it have more water. So when you put it on the scale, you're getting more. That's what we mean when we say the economy grow. And that's what the Jamaica Labour Party wants to do. We want to grow Jamaica from poverty to...
From poverty to prosperity. What a disgrace to the people of this country. From poverty to where? You mean from poverty to the pits of hell? That is where this administration is bringing us. From poverty to the depths of hell. Where is the prosperity? No prosperity for our children. Not even a fence this government is willing to put up. Not even a fence this government is willing to put up for our children so that they can learn and play in a safe environment. But bros, you ask a good question. Prosperity for whom? Listen, when we talk, they say we're playing politics. I've never hid my political preferences. Only cowards do that. A brave individual will tell you straight up who they support and deal with the consequences afterwards. I have no time to hide and support anything. So when I talk, persons will think that I'm always coming from a political perspective, and that's fair. I'm outright with the party that I support. But when we speak the truth, people should take us very seriously. And we've been saying it from the inception that this administration does not care about the poor and the vulnerable. But when we talk, I just PNP. See it there now? Billions of dollars. Millions from hurricane burial. Not being spent on the poor and vulnerable. Billions, if not trillions. Sitting down, looking cute, while our people are homeless, hungry, starving, destitute, cut off, marooned, perishing, depressed, oppressed. Some are even possessed. Why? Because this uncaring government continues to laugh at the poor of this country. I don't want the word care, kind to be uttered out of any JLP representative. Nobody from the JLP should utter those words. Look at how the people are suffering. Look at the people from Petersfield School. Huh? Greek Jamaica, the Prime Minister gets 28 million per year. One man. And that's just what he gets from being Prime Minister. We're not talking about his other businesses. Oh, the 2 taxes. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. I didn't know that. Yeah, man, the 2 taxes. So the 28 million plus the 2 taxes and probably whatsoever it is. And the money that he magically, he just knew that SSL was going to crash. So he took that money out as well. Huh?
Something alright. Something alright, yeah.
The one man is getting 28 million Jamaican dollars per year. And only because 1.8% of the 1.44 billion according to the Auditor General's report. And as we know, it's 26 million. 26 million had to be shared up, ladies and gentlemen, for approximately 1.6 Jamaican. Because it's approximately 1.6 Jamaicans who were affected by Hurricane Melissa. 30,000 homes were displaced because of the hurricane. And you see, 26 million had to go around out of the donations to help the people of this country. But one man is getting 28 million per year. If you do the math of the approximates, $16 is what each Jamaican got in support of their relief after the hurricane. If you do the division, that is what the government has spent on the people of Jamaica who were affected by the hurricane out of the donations. $16. Now I'm saying this to say that you simply cannot trust this government, and it bothers me. How is it that people could run behind an administration even at a time like this? You still have some of those JLP bloggers having the nerves to open up a live. You shouldn't even be brave enough to open a live. You people are careless. You people are shameless. You people are a disgrace. No Labourite should even have the boldness to open up a live. No Labourite blogger should go live on any platform. You should sit down and ask yourself, do some introspection and ask yourself the question, how did I get here? How could I be self-supporting such an ungrateful and uncaring administration? And I say ungrateful because these are the people who will say that Jamaica chose the Jamaica Labour Party to lead them because they claim that they didn't steal the election. So if you never steal the election and people willingly vote for you and put you in power, how could you treat the... I don't know. Is it that it is only PNP supporters who are not getting any of the money? Is it that it's just comrades who are being affected by the low utilization of the donation funds? I am pretty sure that a lot of laborites are suffering because of this uncaring government. And laborites still support this uncaring administration. The blatant lie told by the Minister of Education should not be glossed over. There must be a demand for the retraction of her statement, and to be honest, we say our pledges and our national anthem about we standing up for brotherhood, justice and honesty and all of those things. It's a circus. It's a circus. Huh? Let us take our first break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we talk about some more things. My God.
Where you with the JLP are going with Perspective family. Big up yourself. Blood and fire comrades. I and I is asking for a change. We have to mash down Babylon, time come now. Andrew them a wrap up the money like wow. Them turn taxpayers in a big cash cow. The people them work for nothing, big fiasco. Time come for people fi start unite. Time come fi protect the human right. Time come JLP no have no plan. The plan is to kill, destroy, steal and rob. The devil is loose, my friend, and he loves the color green. Hey, yeah. Don't be.
And Pearl Therapy, we are here to help you to bring ultimate relaxation to your feet. Our hot stone, Swedish and deep tissue massage services are here to help you to get rid of tensions, minor swellings and aches and pain, increase flexibility and circulation. If you are having any heart or circulatory diseases, then this might not be for you. Reach out to us and let's see if you can secure yourself with a foot massage for as low as $4,500. Thank you for choosing Pearl Therapy, the healing hub.
Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products, from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204. Make it Tony and Organics and order yours today.
Food is designed to be felt, not just tasted. Soft warmth, gentle richness, a harmony that melts effortlessly on the tongue. At Cummings Exquisite Caterers, every dish is an invitation, guided by passion, finished with elegance. We cater for life's most meaningful moments, elegant weddings, private celebrations, and much more. With a serene repast center, just 10 minutes away from 2 major cemeteries. We are located at 38 Dublin Spanish Town Road. Reach out to us, 573-9124. Cummings Exquisite Caterers, where desire meets.
Our first social media question tonight comes from Instagram. Shania in Kingston, she says, low voter turnout suppresses the effectiveness of a democratic society. Many Jamaicans refuse to vote because they believe both parties are corrupt. What would you say to the significant population of non-voters? And if elected, how will you hold politicians accountable for offenses against the people instead of protecting them?
So in this instance, the question, you have 90 seconds to answer, and we begin with Dr. Holness.
Corruption is a serious problem in our country, and corruption requires strong leadership. From my position as Prime Minister, I have taken action against any member of my political party that has been involved or accused of anything that suggests corruption. In my own case, I have been investigated for a year with an expert forensic auditor. The findings of that report have suggested no corruption. There have been no charges. Every aspect of my report, every aspect of my personal life and my personal financial details are in the public domain. I am the politician about which Jamaica knows the most. And therefore, I am the politician who can stand with the greatest moral authority to treat with any matter that is considered corrupt, as I have done in the past. And I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me, and you know that I stand against corruption.
Mr. Golding has the opportunity to respond to that social media question as well.
Andrew, what they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company. We have signed the Leadership Code of Conduct developed by Integrity Commission. All of our spokespersons and myself have signed. None of your people have signed it. I am committed to ensuring that all members of the executive, when we form government, will have their Integrity Commission declarations published, not just the leader of the opposition and what should happen, but hasn't happened in your case because you're not certified, the Prime Minister. So the whole question that has been asked is an excellent question. And we really need to step up our vigilance against corrupt behavior, nepotism and cronyism. The volume of scandals under this Jamaica Labour Party government is unprecedented. Over the number of ministers who have had to be removed from frontline duty, many of them parked in the naughty corner in OPM rather than being sacked. It is a disgrace to the country, and your personal situation where you're operating under a deep cloud because your Integrity Commission declarations are not certified also is something which Jamaica cannot go forward with.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Perspective, and I'm your host, Perry Cummings Jr. Boy, I tell you, Jamaica, we're living in serious times. You know, just before the break, we were talking about just how, you know, the government gets up and they lie so easily. They mislead the people intentionally. It wasn't a mistake that Dr. Dana Morris Dixon made. And I dare her to come to the public and to say that she was misinformed. You're the Minister of Information. You should have the facts. And if you don't have the facts, go and search for the facts. And then you come and communicate same facts to the people of this country. But in order to protect the Andrew Holness-led administration, because he is their bro God, they had to come and to make it seem as if the fault is with others when the fault is really with them. Remember to like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to support the super chat. It is available. There are concerns that uncoordinated donations overwhelmed disaster response systems. Well, the word donation has been popping up in social media recently. Let's get into it.
Now, as the hurricane season approaches, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SEDEMA, is pushing for better coordination of hurricane relief donations. Carrie Ann Simpson explains.
Good intentions after disasters can sometimes create new problems. That's the warning from the regional disaster response officials ahead of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SEDEMA, and the International Organization of Migration, IOM, say uncoordinated donations often overwhelm already stretched disaster response systems. Across the region, including Jamaica, ports and warehouses have been left packed with uncollected barrels, boxes, and relief supplies sent from overseas, many of them unsuitable, expired, or never requested. Officials say while generosity from the diaspora and international partners are appreciated, items such as winter clothing for tropical countries, poorly packaged goods, and low-quality shelter materials can slow relief operations and divert resources from urgent needs. According to SEDEMA, as much as 60% of unsolicited donations after disasters end up unused, creating waste, environmental concerns, and additional financial strain for small island states. The warning comes as more than 2.6 million people across the Caribbean were affected by storms, floods, and volcanic activity between 2020 and 2025. SEDEMA and the IOM are now urging people to donate responsibly by following guidance from disaster agencies and prioritizing cash contributions, which allow countries to purchase exactly what is needed and support local economies. The agencies say responsible giving must strengthen disaster recovery efforts, not overwhelm them. Carrie Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Still to come this evening, a fresh debate over Jamaica's falling birth rate. And in business news,
ladies and gentlemen, while I understand that the uncoordinated efforts in our region can contribute significantly to tacky disaster response, it's not just uncoordination. Let us look in the Jamaican context. What is the real reason as to why the response to the natural disaster, particularly Hurricane Melissa, do you think it was just uncoordination that resulted in the slow response from this administration? I say no. It is the corruption that causes this country to respond to disaster in such an unfulfilling way. It's not just uncoordination, it's corruption. The Auditor General's report made it very clear that the government of this country, the JLP government, the Andrew Holness-led administration, they only spent 1.8% of the $1.44 billion that they received in cash donations. It wasn't uncoordination that caused them to not spend the money. It is certainly not bureaucracy nor red tape. Don't allow stupid senators like Senator Morgan to come to the public and try and twist narratives. Because I can recall, and recall well, when the Minister of Transportation, Telecommunications, whatsoever, logistics or whatever else, broke procurement guidelines to get the Starlinks in the country. Who remembered that? Because for him, it was an emergency. It was too much of an emergency that I couldn't adhere to the procurement rules and guidelines. I had to cut through red tape and cut through bureaucracy. This is what Darrell Vaz did. So if this government really and truly wanted to spend the 1.44 billion or to use up the entire amount of deliverables that we received, building roof materials and other resources that we got, remember, a large, I think it was $30 odd million are unaccounted for in building materials that the JDF received. I want persons to look at that Auditor General's report deeper. It's not just the 1.44. From Beryl, this government has not been spending the money on the people of this country. My God Almighty, the amount of people who suffered because of Beryl. Mr. Darrell Vaz told us, ladies and gentlemen, my Perspective family, that he would break the rules again. So don't come and blame bureaucracy and red tape. It is clear that this administration, they have no problem with breaking rules to see results. That is the modus operandi of this administration. They are very Machiavellian in nature, They believe that the ends justify the means. Oh, unknown Gallis, thank you for reminding me. Remember that the procurement committee also flagged the procurement process by Mr. Darrell Vaz. So the point that I'm making is that this government has no problem with breaking rules to get results. That is the foundation, that is the premise on which this administration stands. So I am trying to understand what filth Mr. Senator Morgan is talking about. This is Senator Morgan. I pray that the Lord will never allow us to be on the same platform. Because the rubbish that you're spilling on social media now, it comes with a smell. The stench of the filth that you're uttering out of your mouth. It is so repulsive. Talking about this is the reason why we need NARA. Listen to this foolishness. And again, you hear the NARA justifications. We heard it from several ministers. Now we hear it from the senator. Remember what Nestor Morgan said. This is why we need the NARA. The road crisis that you're experiencing, if we get the NARA, we can fast track the road rehabilitation. Listen, this is a tactic of the JLP. Listen to what the Minister of Education said. If we had the NARA, the fence would have built up, deceiving the country when the approval was given. Now we're hearing, oh, Minister Tufton said it too. The dilapidated hospitals, if we had the NARA, we could rehabilitate the hospitals. Like up the live, ladies. I know you people are enjoying the conversation, but let us just pause for 3 seconds and like up the live. Please. Remember the aim is to get 500 likes every time when we go live. Alright? Minister Tufton gave justifications for NARA. And now we are hearing probably the most, I will not be rude, but Mr. Morgan, you are an atrocious senator. But I guess you do the job well for the JLP. Spreading propaganda and trying to twist narratives is what you do. So I guess you're doing a good job in that regard. So I won't even. But Mallow Fort, former Attorney General, she had a problem with NARA, ladies and gentlemen. She had a problem with NARA. Listen to Mr. Morgan.
In the meantime, Parliamentary Secretary Senator Marlon Morgan says the Auditor General's report in relation to spending highlights the need for the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority NARA bill. He contends that the report shows that the government has also moved to expand over $11 billion in relation to Hurricane Melissa relief and recovery-related contracts.
The Jamaican people should note that the Auditor General report does not contain any scandalous or damning finding of loss and or corruption, and in many respects reaffirms the bureaucracy-related challenges that many Jamaicans are already aware of, and understandably so, have grown impatient of. The public is fully aware that our country's growth and development are being inhibited in part by our stark implementation challenges. What the Auditor General report underscores is that it cannot be business as usual. The report affirms that NARA will go a far way in helping Jamaica to efficiently and effectively utilize available funds in improving the quality of life of the Jamaican people.
Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make this up. The Auditor General revealed to us that this government simply refused to spend the money that was given to help the people. There is no justifications. What Mr. Morgan is saying is rubbish, ladies and gentlemen. And I want persons to call it for what it is. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. If there is an emergency, there's a natural disaster, and you need to spend money quickly, don't tell me that there's just so much red tape and bureaucracy that you cannot spend the money. You are the government. What type of justification are you trying to come up with? You are at the wicket. You are the government. Just as how Darrell Vaz said the Starlink them have to come and him and break rule, few will forget them, and I'm getting to understand that these Starlinks, they weren't even compatible. What is the excuse? We got the donations to spend. I am asking for the donors. Are you listening to the news? Auditor General, you did your part, and I am doing mine. Donors, you need to demand a breakdown as to how this government spent the money and why is it not being spent in good timing. It is an indictment on this administration. What this government is doing, ladies and gentlemen, it is nothing short of murder. They are literally killing people in this country. Huh? You know how many people are suffering now? You know how many people would do well with benefiting from the donations that were given? But even this narrow thing that this government is doing everything and saying just anything to defend it. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Comrade Leader came out recently. He tends to do these videos on his personal media platforms. And he reminded us about NARA. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a listening ear as we are reminded about what Senator Morgan, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Minister Tufta, Nestor Morgan, Floyd Green, the Prime Minister. Listen to what these people are trying to implement in this country.
Greetings. Today I just want to say a few words on the NARA legislation which is going through Parliament now, and it's very topical and people are anxious to know more about it. Essentially, what the government has done is they've brought legislation to Parliament to create a new agency which has a long name but everyone calls NARA, the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority. It's a controversial piece of legislation because it gives this authority extraordinary powers. They can issue directions to any agency that's responsible for considering permits, approvals, licenses, and so on for development projects. If the agencies decide something that NARA doesn't think is right, NARA can direct them otherwise. If the agencies are taking what NARA considers to be too long to make a decision, NARA can push them to decide it quickly. It can make all agencies consider their aspects of it at the same time, so that no agency would have the benefit of considering what another agency might have thought about the matter. These are extensive powers. And what's more, if at the end of the day the agency doesn't comply with NARA's directives, NARA can go to the minister, who is the Prime Minister in this instance, and Prime Minister can step in and make the decision himself and can override what the agency thought about it. And the Prime Minister's decision is the legislation makes his decision the equivalent as if the agency had made that decision itself. These are extraordinary powers. And you know, NARA isn't going to have a board of directors. It's going to have a CEO appointed by the Prime Minister, but no board to provide governance oversight, even though it's going to be expending billions and billions of dollars on massive projects. And we're very concerned about the lack of proper accountability in that structure. We also feel that the Chief Executive Officer should come to Parliament every 6 months to answer questions on his stewardship of the authority, because many people may be unhappy about aspects of what's going on. So we need that opportunity to invigilate the CEO and hear what he has to say or she has to say about the matter. So these are some of the real issues that we have with NARA in its current form. And you know, the recent case that was decided by the court this week, the Constitutional Court, which struck down the decision of the Prime Minister as Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, where he allowed an appeal by a company that had been refused a mining and quarrying license, in an area called Dry Harbor Mountains, which is very environmentally sensitive. Unique forest, aspects of it are estimated to be in the very same condition that it was when Columbus arrived in Jamaica in 1494. So the NRCA, which is the environmental watchdog for Jamaica, had refused the permit, and the company appealed, and the Prime Minister went out on a limb and granted them the permit. And the residents took him to court and won, and the basis of the victory was that their environmental rights under the Constitution were likely to be violated by that decision. And so it's a very important case, but it shows the dangers of concentrating too much executive power rather than having proper checks and balances. And I think there's a lot to be learned from that in relation to the structure of NARA. So those are my words to you this week. All the very best, and may God continue to bless Jamaica, land we love.
That is what NARA brings to the table, ladies and gentlemen. With all the ministers trying to get behind this NARA, because they will all be getting a piece of the pie. Maybe Senator Morgan as well. Although to me he really gives the water boy of the JLP. But who to tell? Apparently everybody eats a food under the Juliet Holness led administration, regardless of your intellectual capacity, be it commendable or not. But I want to say this because I saw something in the news and it caught my eye. Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, oh my Lord, what shall I do? It's coming down, 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 it's coming down. Now, it is said here that Jamaica and South Korea on Tuesday launched a multi-million-dollar program. I wonder if this is what the millions of dollars are funding. But they launched a multi-million-dollar program that they expect will improve land administration. Jamaica, allowing Jamaicans to more quickly acquire titles for the land on which they live and work. Will this benefit Jamaicans? This is what the Prime Minister is saying, and I quote, "Many Jamaicans have experienced land administration as slow, opaque, and difficult to navigate. We are determined to change that. We are building a system that is faster." You know, this administration loves the word fast. This is how quick they are willing to waste our money, how quick they are willing to descend into corruption. But they say that they are determined to change that. We are building a system that is faster, more accurate, more accessible, and more responsive to citizens, investors, planners, and communities. The Prime Minister mentioned 4 groups of people: citizens, investors, planners, and communities. Who are the investors? Who are the planners? And what communities do you refer to? Because for all I know, these investors will be from people all over the world with the billions of dollars to take our lands. Will the citizens have lands, ladies and gentlemen, to claim? Will the citizens of Jamaica truly benefit from this multi-million-dollar program that the government and South Korea has launched? We didn't even know about this thing. Who will truly benefit from this system? Because mouth can say anything, and we've learned that. I wonder if it is the Naira Black .23 beauty that will be the leaping board for this multi-million-dollar program. Oh, $1.42 billion program. My bad. Let me quote the figure. You know, that's just shy of the 1.44 billion in cash donations. I'm just asking a question. Mr. Morgan, could it be that the 1.44 billion that the government refuses to spend on the people of this country, is this the money that is used to launch this system to make land titling more accessible for the citizens, the investors, the communities? I'm just asking, because you people only spent 1.8% of the 1.44, but here is a 1.42 billion being spent on this system. I honestly believe that everything is connected. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. It's a disgrace. This government is putting together systems to benefit his friends and investors all over the world. Selling out our lands. I wonder which lands will be involved in this system for the investors to get. A compound? Is that the reason why there is pandemonium in a compound today? Let's talk about it. There seems to be a dispute among the Maroons, ladies and gentlemen. There seems to be a dispute among the Maroons. Lawyers representing a potential candidate in the upcoming Maroon election in a compound, St. Elizabeth, have gone to court to seek an injunction to prevent Richard Curry from further exercising the powers of colonel of a compound. A representative of the firm, Philip Trail and Company, confirmed to the Jamaica Observer on Wednesday that an injunction was filed in the Supreme Court in Kingston last week to block any election from taking place in a compound at this time. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, you know, there seems to be an aggressive fight against Curry, and I wonder why. I can speculate, though I'm free to speculate. This is what Mr. Rowe says. He's a former colonel of a compound, you know. This is what he said. He doesn't know anything about customs and procedures. I assume he's talking about Mr. Curry. He wasn't born in a compound. Him no grow there, never go to school there, and never lived there. He does not understand it. In fact, we don't even know if he has maroon blood in him. No one man should be allowed to come and violate every aspect of our culture, customs, and tradition. This is a war against Mr. Curry, man.
And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's read the article here. Curry announced on Saturday that the election for the next colonel of a compound will be held on May 22, with nominations scheduled for this Friday, exactly 1 week before the long-awaited election. The request for an injunction to prevent the holding of the election was filed in court last week by lawyers representing Rowe, a former colonel and a potential candidate in the Maroon election that became due on February 18. The document stated that Rowe is seeking an injunction to be granted immediately, prohibiting Curry, whether by himself, his servants or agents, from implementing several decisions. Aside from Rowe wanting to prevent Curry from acting any further as colonel of the Accompong Maroon community, Rowe called for an interim Maroon council to be selected. That sounds like a council of labor rights. I'm speculating. To be selected. He also called for the creation of an election council, a list of eligible voters, and for Curry to be prevented from being able to call an election. That seems to be going against Maroon customs, though. Shouldn't the sitting colonel be the one to call an election in a compound? Ladies and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't sound practical. How can you ask that the colonel not be able to call an election in a compound? That already sounds like it doesn't make any sense. Regardless of how you feel about Mr. Curry, regardless of how you feel about Mr. Curry, Mr. Rowe, he is the colonel, is he not? Anyways, let me finish reading this thing here. Rowe is seeking an order from the court declaring all acts and deeds done by Curry after the expiration of his tenure on February 18, 2026 as well, I get where it's coming from. Community are null and void and of no effect. I get where it's coming from now on that occasion. On that occasion. I get what he's saying. But I find the story to be interesting though. Somebody who knows about what is happening down by a compound, call me. Call me and let me know what is happening. Now, this is very interesting though. Somebody call me there, because this is very interesting to me. He is also seeking the court's intervention to compel Curry potential candidates to nominate 2 persons to sit on the election council in accordance with the customs, traditions and practices of the Accompong Maroon community. The court document outlined that Rowe is pushing for Curry to turn over all assets, monies, and documents belonging to the Accompong Town Maroons, which are in his possession to a justice of the peace or to the nearest police station. Although calls for the announcement of the election were growing since February 18, when Curry's tenure as leader of the Upper Accompong Maroons officially ended, potential candidates now insist that they will not be participating in any rigged process come next week. Another potential candidate told the Observer, it come like all the candidates are against Curry. Yeah, no, that's what I'm understanding now because his tenure ended. I'm just getting to understand the whole Accompong thing here. So apparently Curry's tenure ended. Curry's tenure ended, so he then wouldn't have been allowed to call. I understand that. I'm going to be fair. I understand that bit of argument. I'm not afraid to say that I understand Mr. Rowe's position there. I get him completely on that. Let me get through the article. So although calls for the announcement for the election were growing since February 18, when Curry's tenure as leader of the Accompong Maroons officially ended, potential candidates now insist that they will not be participating in any rigged process come next week. Another potential candidate told the Observer on Wednesday that he and about 4 others are prepared to fight tooth and nail, well, they said through legal channels, to stop Curry in his tracks. One of their main issues of contention, listen to this, according to Rowe, is that it does not appear as though participating in the process. Why do you need the Electoral Office of Jamaica to participate in the process? Isn't Maroon isn't Maroon a separate thing? Why do you need the ECJ to participate in the elections? That is where I raise my red flag. Mr. Rowe, why are you batting for the ECJ to participate? Why are you have such trust in the ECJ more than your own people? Where is the sovereignty here over your own democratic process? Now this is where I get you, Mr. Rowe. I get you when you say that Mr. Curry is based on the Maroons constitution, Mr. Curry would no longer be colonel. And we all can agree there, right? But then you're going to say that you want the ECJ to be the ones to conduct your election, which should happen without any external intervention. I have to raise my red flag there. Why are you so adamant that the ECJ must play a part in the election? Anyway, let me read this. Rose said that if the Electoral Office is not involved in the process, well, it has been that way since the 1950s, then a high degree of fairness cannot be guaranteed. Wow. So long ECJ are meddle in a Maroon business. Rowe claimed that Curry has been making his plans without informing them and setting up conditions and creating rules that suit him and his agenda. He claimed it was ridiculous and nomination day was scheduled for this Friday and the voters list was not even finalized. Rowe and other potential candidates contend that Curry is trying to implement a document which he refers to as a constitution which he claims governs Accompong. It is said that the document states, among other things, that candidates for colonel must be living in Accompong for 3 years or more. Some of the candidates are currently not living in Accompong, although they have property and family there physically. But according to Rowe, Accompong has never operated by any constitution as Curry is claiming now. In an interview on Nationwide News Network, Curry responded to his detractors as he claimed that the Maroons of Accompong have a constitution which has been ratified and gazetted. Curry stated during the interview that the election process is being undertaken based on the stipulations of that Maroon constitution. But Rowe scoffed at that claim. I am puzzled as to what constitution he's talking about. This is Rowe talking. Who are the originators and who implemented it? Who are the people who initiated that? I, as a former colonel, and Ferron Williams are not privy to that document. Ferron Williams and I are the only two living former colonels. Richard Curry arbitrarily does things by himself all alone. He doesn't know anything about customs and procedures. He wasn't born in a compound and him no grow there. He never go school there. This is Ro good. Listen to how Ro is going at it. And never lived there. He does not understand it. In fact, we don't even know if he has maroon blood in him. This is how far the people gone. Ladies and gentlemen, this sounds like divide and conquer. This sounds like they're trying to destabilize a compound to start a war. This sounds like Ro doesn't want peace. Ro seems like he want problem. Huh? His grandmother is from Manchester. This so-called constitution he's speaking about, I don't know who and who joined with him to frame it. Ro said that as he charged that Curry should pack his bags and go. You hear, Ro? He needs to do that. No one man should be allowed to come and violate every aspect of our culture, customs and traditions. It just cannot work, and I speak on behalf of my people, of the people, Maroons and even non-Maroons who are aware of what is happening. They are very critical of this semi-human approach to things. There are no moral principles, Rose said. We are seriously upset and we are going to fight it. That's what Rose is saying, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. That's that. Well, I'm going to be watching to see what will happen in this Maroon election. All I know, one thing I can tell you, Maroons, listen, whomever you decide to be your colonel, it's your decision to make. My father is a Maroon. He always hints at us visiting a compound, and I probably should. But all I can say is this. Be careful of who you put as the colonel of a compound. And I'm going to repeat, I'm going to say it again. As an outsider looking in, be careful of who you choose to be the colonel of a compound. You see the times that we're living in now? With all that is happening regarding land, NARA, reconstruction, centralized authority, CEO not answering to no board, only to the Prime Minister, and with all the allegations against Mr. Rowe being a JLP operative, I am just going to say this. Be careful of who you select to be your colonel. I'm going to allow Mr. Cleveland Tomlinson here to respond to Mr. Senator Morgan and the rhetorics coming from the Jamaica Labour Party. Listen.
From the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Senator Cleveland Tomlinson, Deputy Spokesperson on Productivity, Efficiency and Competitiveness. It is unconscionable and scandalous that the government sat and donated money while thousands of Jamaicans suffered. People were hungry, people were sleeping under damaged roofs or no roofs at all. Families were struggling to rebuild their lives, and the money donated by generous Jamaicans and well-wishers to help them was simply sitting idle, going nowhere. Unlike the government, the facts are honest. The Auditor General confirmed that 88% of the $1.4 billion in Hurricane Melissa donations remain uncommitted. Not just unspent, uncommitted, meaning there was no plan, no contract, no obligation to deploy them. Bureaucracy slows spending, but it does not prevent a government from committing funds. So the question that must be asked is why several months after Hurricane Melissa did 88% of donated funds have no commitment whatsoever attached to them. And this appears to be a pattern because we must recall that the Auditor General said that $138 million from Hurricane Beryl donations in 2024 sat idle and was never reported to the Ministry of Finance as required by the law. Senator Morgan cannot credibly blame red tape for money that was never directed anywhere. These are not bureaucratic delays. This is a governance failure. Jamaicans who donated in good faith deserve accountability. And we're calling on the government to immediately publish a transparent expenditure plan for all outstanding disaster relief funds.
Visit our website at .org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is that. Mr. Marshy, what go on?
Yeah, me there. The long and short of this thing. You know, Andrew Wellness, not Chief Curry.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to understand.
Yeah, man, him not like Curry for a long time. You know, and also argument in the drop, you know, go have a state in a state. And what if I think, you know? Yeah. Andrew Wellness having one way, so Andrew Wellness buy out the other two man there, you know. You look past some space and hear that utterance. You know that's the sound of labor rights. And what Andrew Wellness said, him buy out them just a idiot then, you know, see man then done. Because Curry a brighter boy and them, you know.
Oh yes.
Them are done, you know.
Oh yes.
Them are done. And you know it's hard to deal with that dunce labor right, you know. If you have a bright labor right, you know, you must have a little talk with them. You see when a labor right is dunce and dumb, and them there. Wellness buy out them there. One of them want to talk about Andrew Wellness, about Prime Minister will have none of it and all of them things in a vice note. Andrew Wellness in a this thing big time, you know. Because Andrew Wellness buy them out having one way in a compound. The long and short of it. So Andrew Wellness are the boy behind this thing. And you know what him buy out all electoral office, you know.
Lord God.
Yeah, in buy out electoral office, there are certain sections, certain people in the judiciary where Andrew Wellness buy out, you know. You realize railway case can't try.
What happened to railway case?
Yeah, let me tell you, man. They buy out. They realize the case with Andrew Wellness and Buchanan.
But that day,
so that case that kind of stall. It's a buyout thing. Wellness one dirty smarty, you know, brethren. Wellness on anybody. But the thing about Wellness is not afraid to spend money buying weed. So money spend, money drop, and then two idiots, they ruin the next one from the compound. Money, them buy out, and they will do anything to get rid of Curry. Because Andrew Wellness can't spin Curry round and round like one spin the other one, you know. He can't do it. He can't do it. He can't do Curry that way there. So you want to get rid of him to have him one. You really want Andrew Wellness 10 hours sword up our compound?
Yes.
During the hurricane, if you go do this, many other places need them, you know. You know, send them go there. So you know, it's a stop me in a stop.
Stop me in a something.
Andrew Wellness and nobody buy him a buy out somebody to get the land up there. Remember Andrew Wellness want lumber fund there. He want this one there, he want that one there. But he can't buy out Curry. So you must buy out them there too. Idiot there, so I pay them way now, you know, to make them they win the election. I come from people, open on the eye, and don't make Andrew Wellness trick. No, make Andrew Wellness buy the idiot there. Just tell them come, just tell out. The tribe of Maroon, they from where them two they come from, where Ru and the next friend come from.
Yes.
And that same tribe that it sell Paul Bogle.
My God.
That's set there. It's in a them same way. That's set a slave there. You know? Them there. That slave group there. Andrew Wellness has to buy them out. Just to buy them out. You two here instant. Well, them friends from certain place to run out come talk. You're going to hear sooner or later, you're going to hear one certain radio station start fight against Curry, you know.
Lord have mercy. Oh yeah.
You have the one that were very good at ventriloquist.
Yes.
Marlon.
Yeah.
Because you know Marlon a ventriloquist, you know. Kind of like I'm out him attack from where I talk from the rear. Because he's very brilliant at chatting garbage, you know. Because he will come talk about now. After them do the hanky panky, the hurricane money, can talk about if we did have Nara, it could have spent. The way make him move him backside and go big 5 years. The man is too lion thief. One word to them. teach them. Cook. Buy them, I buy out them, around them to get the land. Over so let them go to hell. Full stop. Me gone.
Alright, Marshall, blessings. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's very interesting. A reminder of what we're talking about. The Auditor General report makes it very clear, pellucid actually, that just 1.8% of the cash donations for Hurricane Melissa were spent. It's daunting. This is a disgrace. This is a major scandal, ladies and gentlemen. This is a major scandal.
Millions untouched. The Auditor General has found that less than 2% of cash donations for hurricane relief has been spent as of February this year. In addition, millions more collected after Hurricane Beryl also remain untouched. Details in this report. The Auditor General report found that despite receiving more than $1.4 billion in cash donations for Hurricane Melissa, only $26 million, just 1.8%, had been spent as of February this year. Millions more collected after Hurricane Beryl also remained untouched. ODPEM told auditors the low spending resulted from the absence of approval from the Ministry of Finance to access the funds. But the concerns in the report go beyond unspent money. The Auditor General says major weaknesses were identified in the management and tracking of supplies under the government's roof restoration program. The report comes at a time when the parliamentary opposition has been blasting the government for its Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts. But that's not all. The Auditor General said contracts valued at $167 million were awarded for roofing materials using emergency procurement measures allowed during disasters. But of the $122 million in materials reportedly delivered to the Jamaica Defense Force locations, only $88 million worth was formally acknowledged as received. The remaining $34 million in supplies had no signed delivery slips or goods received notes confirming delivery. The Auditor General also found incomplete payment records tied to two major contracts valued at more than $108 million. Overall, only $26 million in payments linked to the program could be independently verified by auditors. ODPEM reported that more than 400 roofs were repaired under the program. However, auditors say they could not fully confirm that claim. The report says no documentation was provided showing how beneficiaries were selected, how households were verified and approved, or whether repairs were formally completed using the materials procured. Auditors also noted that while ODPEM submitted lists of beneficiaries and some geotagged locations, critical supporting records were missing. The report also flagged concerns surrounding the handling of donated cash. Auditors found that a financial services institution withheld millions in donations without a formal agreement in place with ODPEM governing the arrangement. The Auditor General says the findings highlight serious deficiencies in accountability, documentation, and oversight in the management of disaster relief resources.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica, what is your response to something like this? What is your response to something like this? You know, it is disgraceful what we are hearing. Before I forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at 7 a.m. I will be on Smile Jamaica with Simone Clark Cooper and Mr. Neville Bell. Remember, it is Child's Month and tomorrow is National Children's Day. We're going to be talking about our children. The theme for Child's Month is prioritizing, let me get the right quote here. It is to prioritize our children's mental health, strong minds, safer future. Let me go again with the theme. Prioritize our children's mental health, strong minds, safer future. We're going to be having a conversation tomorrow morning about our children. I think I'm passionate about how our children are being attacked. And when you look at what is happening in our society, our children are unaliving each other. Our children are so exposed to all sorts of nonsense. And we want to have a conversation tomorrow. So early tomorrow, if you can join me, please join me and the Smile Jamaica crew, as you will have to engage conversations about the children, our future. I don't think our children are safe right now. We have a lot to talk about. So please tune in tomorrow. I'm getting a call. Hold on. Go ahead, caller. Hello? You're probably muted.
No, Mr. Perry, you hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you now. Go ahead, quickly, yes?
I know what to tell you.
Alright, caller, turn down the background. Alright, when the caller is ready, you call back. When you're ready, caller, you can call back. But, you know, Jamaica, what is the response to something like this? What is your response to something like this? It's not misinformation. Nobody's making up any lies. Nobody is getting up and just trying to create mischief. This is the report from the Auditor General. Nobody can dispute the facts. They have to come and tell you that it is, oh, this is the reason why we need Naira. What is your response to this? Look at how many Jamaicans are suffering because of this administration. Again, I'm giving this caller an opportunity to talk. Go ahead, caller.
Mr. Perry, you was hearing me?
No, I wasn't. Just turn down the background and go ahead.
Me not really thinking the background on right now.
Alright, go ahead. Go ahead for me.
You know, me sit down here and listening to you, Mr. Perry. And you mean, say, out of all that money, Andrew Holness has not even spent 2% good out of the money. And money from burial time till another hurricane come. And Andrew Holness have all this money stored up. For what reason? If you're not a thief, we are going to have the money we are not your own storing up now. And the people out there need the money. Anything can go like that, sir.
My God.
What a wickedness. Then, Mr. Perry, the people that when them hear this, no should out the road and demonstrate.
I'm wondering.
At their money, you know. And at the same breath, everything raised and gone up. The people them salary no raise. He's still taking money from NHT. This man sick. Somebody can wicked, sir? No, Mr. Perry, the people them should be out there.
Yeah.
Hospital need to fix. Hospital need to be looked after. So many other aspects of Jamaica is needed to rectify right now. Andrew Holness lump on the money. Like his money. You know, so the money I got prison. Me say if he not go to prison for nothing else, he might go to prison this time for that money.
All right.
We want the money to go do for him own a thing to go build down a Black River, take over down a Black River and all them places they for go build. Give the people the house, sir. Andrew Holness give the people the house. It's not your money. You're a damn thief. Come on. Mr. Perry told to set me and say. Anyway, go on with the program.
Yeah, man. Bless you. Let me take this other call here. Probably I can take a few calls. Ladies and gentlemen, what a disgrace. Go ahead, caller.
Right, Mr. Perry.
Blessings.
Mr. Perry, blessing. Nothing is going to change, sir. Because Daryl, until now, Mr. Andrew Holness sprinkled something over Jamaica for the people. Because let me tell you something. I'm in a Caribbean island. And now it's May. You never hear a police shot somebody or somebody dead. If they dead of their own And you know, accident, and you know, if not, what is going on with Jamaica? Mr. Perry, make I tell you something. I will never put my foot back on Jamaica. Jamaica is beautiful. It's my country. But until Andrew Holness come out, then I will show my face. Because all the Caribbean, all the islands in the Caribbean, Jamaica is the worst. And our country is one top most Caribbean island on the planet. You understand?
Yes.
People want to talk like me, they walk like me, they want to dress like me, and no other Caribbean country now go so. What is wrong with Andrew Holness? Andrew Holness do something in Jamaica. He go around the 14 parishes and he sprinkle something. Where's the church? He sprinkle something in Jamaica. Because nobody, look for his wife in parliament angling people like a dog. Who is that dog? Something after done. Where is the money going? It don't build a school. It don't build he only building police station. He only killing off the young people them. What is going on? What is going on in the country, the beautiful country? You understand? If you come down there for retirement, people will kill you. They will kick off your house. Whether you put grill, whether you put camera, they will analyze you. So you want come out? Me not go nowhere. No, I will not. Sorry to say, my mother and my father died. I go home and I bury them. I'm a touchdown about 2 years ago and I will never touch down until him come out. Good night, Mr. Perry. God bless you. I'm going back in class.
Bless you, caller. My God Almighty, ladies and gentlemen. What a disgrace. What a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. What a disgrace. This is spiritual warfare, you know.
Aim. Sakata. We are mash up, you know. Fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, Bishop. I got your back. Fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, this foot back road. Come on. Cover your pastor. Go in, Bishop. Bishop. Take down the Illuminati. Take down the voodoo. Take down the Freemason. Take down the witches. Take down the warlock. Take down the Wabiaism. So them are fire. And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say pop. God. Badam, bam. Jesus Christ. What is what? Pop. Jesus Christ. War tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam. Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was brought to my attention that in Parliament, the sectorial debate, Nickeisha Burchell did her presentation. And in her introduction, she started out by using the beautiful patois, because others may dislike the expression and the language. Something that Miss Lou tried her best to hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, blessing, young Perry.
Yes.
All right. You see, even the report and the Jamaica Labour Party and their, bloggers and all those who come out and speak on behalf of them, always try to defect and try to keep us in the dark. Even the report that come out with the Auditor General,
Did you know there is a lot more in the report than just about the 1.8% that is not used? You notice they're trying to keep us focused on that. When the report said that there are money that was spent and there is only some they can give account for. But they're trying to, for us not to talk about that. And we have to understand that is always their tactics. And that's all I want to say. Let us keep focused. Don't allow them to deflect us from some of the main things. They just want to talk about them because what they want to say now, the other rest of money is still there. But out of the 1.8 that has been used, what has those money done?
Exactly.
Some of the money cannot be accounted for. And that is their tactics. And that's why Marlon Morgan is out there trying to just let us keep focused on the 1.8 and the narrow this and the narrow that. Then there are money that are missing that we are not talking about.
It's true.
And so that is their intention. Blessings.
Bless you. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? And it is true. The reality is, the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, the Jamaica Labour Party, they have mastered propaganda. And you will hear Labour rights. They want to come and talk about Nickeisha Burchell using patois in Parliament. They don't want to ask the administration, any sensible Labour right. If you truly love Jamaica, you would ask your administration what the 1.8% do. Because it's one thing, as the caller is alluding to, it's one thing to just say, well, we spent 1.8. We need to know what the 1.8% do. And then why is it that the rest of the money is not being spent? They don't want to ask really. This is what the Labour rights get emotional about. Look at the Speaker of the House. How she was quick to try and shut down somebody in the I don't know what Nickeisha Burchell do to Juliet Holness,
Oh, she not come. Okay, good. Okay. You may begin. Madam Speaker, me get up this afternoon to make my first sectoral speech.
Hold on. Standing orders. And I think you are fully aware. And if I have to stop you again during your presentation, you will not get any additional time. No, and she knows.
Broken English.
Standing order 6, page 3.
When I speak to this,
Your presentation on culture. It's not Spanish. That's
Madam Speaker, Leroy, allow me to speak. A leader. Madam Speaker, perhaps I should abandon that attempt to use our local language because I have been reminded of the linguistic conventions of this honorable House. Because maybe there is no more fitting way to begin a presentation on culture than to speak briefly in the language understood by the overwhelming majority of Jamaican people.
This is what Labour rights are quick to get up and create an excitement about. This government, ladies and gentlemen, they are played in our faces. And I think one of the reasons why the Prime Minister and his administration continues to operate like this is because they know nothing will change. The reason why this government continues to behave in this manner is because they know nothing will change. They believe that they are untouchable and that they have sedated the people of this country successfully. So Mrs. Holness will create an uproar in Parliament about the touching of the mace, speaking patois and trivial compared to the atrocities that we are hearing. Look at how people are suffering in this country. And this is what they are passionate about. Standard order 6 page 3, standard order that. But this is the same government that did not sign the leadership code of conduct. You cannot make this up. The hypocrisy, you cannot be a stickler for standard orders and rules, or so you portray. But the administration that you are part of to date refuses to sign the leadership code of conduct. You people, you've rejected what is moral and true in this country. And you go on with a facade. As if you are all about rules and regulations. Listen, standard orders shouldn't work against the people in Parliament. Standard orders shouldn't work against the elected members of Parliament. It is mere guidelines. Let us take, I'm taking, this is the last call because we have clarion call to take calls.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, brother. Good night.
Bless you.
Yeah, man. We have a couple few words to say. Let tell you the truth, I got no. Which is my work, understanding. To me, it come like, when if I catch to we in the country, Jamaica people, but something wrong. The reason I say something wrong, I remember one time I passed, I don't remember the regional government, they raised some gas for that time. And the country locked down and then process and whatever happened.
Yes.
And this government do so many different things. And nobody at all now do away from where the social media do the thing and something and people make call and thing. But nobody, we as the people, now come out and process and nothing against what the government do. I wonder if I catch with some we have what happened, but something wrong, some brother.
Boy.
Something wrong, some brother. I tell you something wrong. Because I tell you to the God love. This man I do so many things we are hurt a lot of in our country where I tell you the truth, instead of we going forward, we are going backward. At the end of the day, if you look on it, the man now putting nothing in place none of it, brother. The man has so much business between the government and his wife, which is the prime minister and his wife. They have so many things for themselves. And all not putting nothing in place in none of we. You know what I mean? How much building they have, how much business them are own, how much things they put in place for themselves, and at the end of the day, they put in nothing in place none of it. You see when they come up, brother? I'm sorry for all the opposition when they take up a post. I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for them. Then do a thing one time when opposition we go in, I make when they go ahead and get money when push seems in, and it look a big door for big, I make them get some money from the country. And they come like I see them come make up my again, brother. I'm sorry for we. I tell you to the God love. Because the way them put Jamaica backward for the back of the wall. You understand what I mean? Because me always know, brother. I'm not just people that talk, I'm just people that action. At the end of the day, as I said before, this man not creating no way for none of we. Look at the people that suffer. Look at the storm gone and the people that suffer. And holy somebody me see away from the donors, they try them best and help out and put one and two together and people on the hardest time go and help out the people. And no money stick government done for the people, man, no, brother. And the people are going to chop all in, brother. We're not for the people that get weight up all this, brother.
Yes, I mean, them took that emergency. Assistant, drop and gun. You should have reached it. Doesn't matter how much in the parliament, for the prime minister to the opposition side, so long they help the people. Them, if you're taking in the government side and the opposition side, you ever see them in the parliament? Take and see. And them are collect more billions of dollars. For we. You know what I mean?
To do nothing. To do nothing.
I'm looking as an example. What people in Jamaica earn $1 million for the year? And they collect more billions of the man, for instance. When the man going out this before, the man said no tax per not every time you go a someone for buy things in them raise. When you go to the idea for buy things them raise. You know what I mean? Someone have to know if you tax that. And you come back and Jamaica not produce. We have to rely upon private sector.
Yes.
And we say, for the whole country, private sector own them same way. We talk about guns, a few people look business in Jamaica. And they put 300% off on pay. That's sure you know me in Jamaica people know good, brother. You know me in Jamaica people know good. If then the guy increase, take for instance 50,000 for the year, no? You put about 300%, you know, it's 300%, you know, $1 million. The teacher them not get no pay. The police them not get no pay. The security them not get no pay. God will smuggle them be at the American they have to beg. The teacher them not get no pay. You know what I mean? And every time they come up and process, there's no answer to them. And you start doing like, and you start the long side of the country, brother. And when people talk, come like it just go through 1 year and go into like you know listen to now we. And at the end of the day, we put him where he is. Someone have to know if him love we in the country and just have a dictatorship of himself and just run the country for himself and for himself like and his wife. And his wife in the parliament, as soon as the president said attack, it just cut off like on them. They can attack in the parliament too, she. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when they do something that's wrong, you think of them feeling?
Is we.
And the whole of we not to make a feed, you know? And when they gone and they rich, have more business and more thing, you know what happen? Anything when they left in way wrong, and we have to go pay more tax and more things for I remember about money for them, and we have to pay all of the money, you know? You think I'm going to take them and pay? Brother, I tell you, something needs to be done. If this man don't come up with a sorry for somebody, because at the end of the day, the man not doing nothing for me, brother. The man not create nothing for you. The man not make no factory for none of we. This at least you can work and maintain yourself and maintain your family. The man not create no hospital for none of we. The man not make no school for none of we. Right now, me one lady call and get it and he say something must be wrong with his shoulder or something. And what time you go there now get my bed for lie down, pan. You know what I mean? The hospital is in a mess. You know what I mean? You go to hospital, brother, you better to the head and dead.
Because if you go to hospital, you're sure if you're dead.
You know what I mean? So instead of them put things in place to benefit the people, the things are go backward instead of go forward, brother. We don't see the way the man show light for we. It's like the man create a way that for instance, we put it on the wall. It's so burn me so I mean, my brother, a fool brother, a fool black brother, you know?
Boy.
I tell the truth, I better the opposition in the country, I tell the truth. And I say the man have a heart for the people. This man have the heart, this man have heartless, brother.
Boy, I tell you.
With this country, what the man, brother, man now in the country, but the truth is just the truth, brother. I'm going to attack every day after labor campaign, but everybody may attack.
It's true.
And the whole of we are feeding, once that people are feeding, the whole of we are feeding. Because you do something that's good, we get benefit. When you do something that's wrong, you put the people down. And we don't want that we want to lie to we say so that they forgot to mama more than 10 years. You must put things in place. Make we can say at least you can say, yes, you do a good job. That means if you come out whatever time. And you know, Mr. PJ person in for 18 years. Don't just Mr. PJ person. Don't increase with the people in make school and
of course, then look how much then most of the things that Jamaica most of the things that
people that can get work, what this man put in place a week.
Exactly. Most of the things that we have today that is still keeping the country afloat is because of the People's National Party. And I often ask the question, what is the legacy of the Andrew Holness-led administration? What is it, as the caller is saying, what is it that we can look and say, no, sir, Andrew Holness government do that and it will go benefit our children's children. There is absolutely nothing that I can pinpoint that is a legacy of the Prime Minister.
Brother, I tell you the brother heart to me attack, so my son will that you have to go and tie, come have children, so that's the reason me attack.
I understand, Carter. But you know,
yes, I mean,
we out of time, so another time we'll talk.
Yeah, take yourself and go take time, go work and go content pretty good at and hope one day changes this company, the grace of God, brother.
Yeah, man, blessings.
A bit of one of my country people. Take care of yourself, big up yourself.
Big up yourself, blessings. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. This administration has proven again to this country that when they said that you must choose Jamaica, they weren't talking about this beautiful island. They were talking about the Jamaica Labour Party. I don't have to go too far back, ladies and gentlemen, but the amount of scandals, irregularities, lack of oversight, the amount of moments that we can recall about corruption and skullduggery since the third term alone. We don't have to talk about the entire 10 years of the Jamaica Labour Party government under Andrew Holness. We just can't talk about since September 3rd, 2025. And already, ladies and gentlemen, we can pinpoint more than 5 major issues that should have resulted into Jamaica protesting from the north, the south, the east, and the west. Procurement breach after procurement breach. Raiding of the NHT. Huh? 18 billion to be taken out of the poor people pockets in taxes. $1,000 increase upon the minimum wage when everything gone up. Bread, flour, this, that, you name it, it gone up. And that $1,000 won't reflect until July 1st. It wasn't even an immediate increase. The Auditor General has made it abundantly clear that from Hurricane Beryl, millions and millions and millions of dollars not being spent on the people of this country. This government has murdered Jamaicans. You know how many people suffering unto death because up to this day they cannot recover from Hurricane Beryl? You know how many livelihoods have been destroyed? How many businesses and how many people are on their faces? And this government could have assisted them, because I will say it all the time, it is never lack of resources when it comes to this administration. They received billions of dollars. It's the lack of the willingness to do what is right by the people of this country. So people are suffering and dying and starving, and you sit with the money. And you are telling me that you care? You are telling me that you care about this country? Think about the children, ladies and gentlemen, who are hungry because their mothers are hungry. Think about the children who are suffering because their parents. Think about the innocent lives. Playing politics with the lives of God's people. Talking about people of the PNP should suffer. Huh? Talking about people of the People's National Party should suffer. Playing politics. Ladies and gentlemen, it is sad but I'm out of time. I'm out of time. Somebody said we need 33 likes. Let us get us to 500 likes. Look at this. Retention of tourism dollar lowest in the Caribbean. We boast about our tourism sector. And now millions of people are coming to Jamaica. Well, the dollar is not staying here. We are quick to open up our borders to so many people to come and experience our culture and this and that, but at the end of the day, we're not even benefiting. So one thing for a lot of persons to come to Jamaica in the name of tourism. It's a completely different thing when we're not seeing the returns. And now the entire Caribbean is at a crossroads because the Canadians, the Americans, the Europeans, they're coming here, but the dollar is not being spent here. It's not staying here. This government has failed. I don't even want to talk about Bartlett's constituency. A woman in his constituency for 66 years don't know what running water and pipe look like on proper road. So what you expected to happen for the tourism sector? There is no ministry in this country under this administration that we can point to to say, well, at least something is working. Thank you, Pauline Taylor, for the $20. Thank you so much. Let us thank Pauline Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to support the super chat. Thank you, Pauline. I was just about to go. There is absolutely no ministry in this country under this government that is working well. None. And persons say that this is the best administration. Well, you know, if I did not know better, because if this is the best administration in the history of this country, if this is the best administration in the history of Jamaica, I don't want to see the worst. Don't tell me that the worst was Portia, Michael Manley, PJ, or Norman Man. Don't tell me. Every PNP administration has seen revolutionary contributions to Jamaica's infrastructure, our overall productivity, our programs, our social programs, legislation and policies. Every single PNP administration has propelled Jamaica forward. And that's why people say PNP build Jamaica. I want you to tell me, ladies and gentlemen, for the amount of years, remember, you know, if you combined all the administrations of the Jamaica Labour Party, you will get a cumulative figure of 39 years. They've had 6 prime ministers. We've had 4. The Jamaica Labour Party, they have been at the wicket more than the PNP, and I'm talking in terms of being government. They've produced more prime ministers. What is it that JLP has done? What is it that they have done for Jamaica? Being in government more than the PNP, I want you to tell me, what is it that we can look at today and say it is because of the Jamaica Labour Party why we are experiencing this legacy that will continue to protect our children and will continue to provide for the poor and the vulnerable. Every single policy, program or initiative that really and truly benefits Jamaica, even without the PNP being in power, is the PNP do it. I could name out the amount of programs, initiatives, institutions that the People's National Party has implemented. And I probably would not end until about 9 tonight. But when you look at the Jamaica Labour Party, you cannot compare it. The only thing that the JLP is running on today is a cult-like following that has served them well. Because even with the report from the Auditor General, you still have JLP bloggers and labor rights shouting 1 p.m. Even with the fact that it is this administration that will take $18 billion out of poor people's pocket after a hurricane like Hurricane Melissa. After people still don't have road, light, nor water. No house, no home, no nothing. That is the legacy of the Andrew Holness led administration. At a time when the local economy should be invested in so that growth can be spurred, they have totally turned their backs on Jamaica. Because they were never in it to help the poor. They were never in it to bring prosperity to this country. They are there to ensure that they prosper. The prosperity is for them. We don't even want to talk about the unaliving Georgia Lynch of our young men, our young black poor men. But because there's a certain class of men who are perishing at the hands of the police officers, a certain skin color, definitely a certain gender. There is an agenda to wipe out our young men under this government. The Minister of National Security called it a crazy idea when how many civil society groups, human rights advocates like myself, bloggers and others said that you have to wear body-worn cameras. We need the transparency. We need to know what is happening on these high-risk operations. They rejected it. They rejected it. I hear bloggers talking about the third term just start. Be patient with the government. Rubbish. Nonsense. We must wait for good governance while the corruption is overtaking us on the left and on the right. This administration is not new to governance. If you didn't get it then, you're not gonna get it now. Step aside. Step down. Resign, Tufton. Look at the health sector. Look at our hospitals. You've ended an important medical program that existed for over 50 years that benefited both Jamaicans and Cubans. You ended it without putting together an alternative to fill the gaps. Market me scandal. Amount of contracts streamlined to particular parties of interest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a disgrace. And this is the government that they say care. They wage war against misinformation, so they say. Yet Dr. Dana Morris Dixon told a blatant lie on the Portmore Municipal Corporation. They gave the government the go-ahead to build the fence. But because you have to try and find justifications for NARA, don't build anything outside of NARA, because if you build something outside of NARA, then the opposition will have more ammunition to say, hey, we don't need the NARA to build back better than before. But because this government wants to be as close to the money as possible, let us come with the Naira. Let us have the CEO having an extraordinary amount of powers, centralized, no board, nobody to answer to. Oh, sorry, the CEO can only answer to the Prime Minister, who the Prime Minister will choose. Thank you for the $10. Kamar Russell. Feel free to support the super chat, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody say thanks to Kamar. This is the government of the day. Where is the humanity? Mr. Desmond McKenzie, do you hate children? We know you hate. WhatsApp me for the Zelle and the Cash App. Let me put my number on the screen. If you're not supporting the super chat but want to support the Zelle and the Cash App, there's my WhatsApp number. Just message me and I will give you the information. Mr. McKenzie, do you hate children? I'm pretty sure you will say no. Then if you don't hate children, why are you treating the children in Westmoreland like that? The children, the families who had to stay at Petersfield for months. The people have all the money in the world. All the people asked for some, all the asked was for some shelters, you know. You gave us the date, May 8th, 50 houses should be built on a particular spot of ground, on a particular place. And when you go there, only 6 bases, no sewage work, no nothing. And you love children. Let's take it a step further. The place where you put them to stay temporarily is rat infested, filthy, nasty, dirty, mucky and everything. No, Ardin Henry, we don't block people. They know we don't block people. You can block them though. Just block them from your phone. Just tap on their name if you don't want to see their comments. Tap on their name and block them. Remember that the dunce labor rights will have to try and justify the wrongs of the administration. We allow them to talk, to expose themselves. Don't be aggravated when you see the stupidity of the labor rights. Comrades, we are in the right. The more you see them trying to justify the incompetence of their administration, it further proves our point and where we stand. So don't be aggravated by labor rights. Allow them to talk and embarrass themselves. It serves us well. But if you don't want to see their comments, block them. I am not perturbed by them, neither am I distracted. You all know how I am. It is this administration, ladies and gentlemen, that continues to enrich themselves. Enrich themselves. You know? And I'm going now because we're out of time. We're well over the 2-hour mark. I thought that Jamaica would be outraged when the government decided to increase taxes. Though the opposition gave practical solutions, you know, to fill the gaps. We know that the hurricane caused significant damage to the country. It affected the GDP. I thought that Jamaica, because it's one thing that every Jamaican don't like, and it's taxes. I tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw Jamaicans, just because they support the JLP, turn around and tell you that they don't have a problem with the increasing of taxes because it's the JLP government do it, I said to myself, wow, Jamaica is really gone to the dogs. Jamaica really gone to the dogs. How much for a loaf of bread now? And I said, well, the people they're not outraged. And then when I heard about the ending of the Cuban program, I said, no man, this will definitely cause Jamaica to unite. Take off the orange, take off the green, come together, protest, and pressure the government to change its decision. All of a sudden, there are spies coming on the Cuban program. All of a sudden, the Cuban doctors are spies. All of a sudden, the Cuban doctors are slaves. And I said, well, the people not as outraged as how I thought they would have been. So I said, you know what? Let's give it a little more time. University Hospital scandal. I said, well, this must be it. I may not be saying it in the chronological order that they happened, but just bear with me as it comes to my mind. Big scandal at the University Hospital, no oversight. The labor rights have no problem. Though all hospitals fall under the supervision of the Minister of Health. You cannot separate Tufton from the issues. No problem. No outrage. Nobody seemed to have had a problem with the government raiding the NHT. The old buses, nobody had a problem with that. Balibala. And you can remember a lot of different instances. Remember when the Auditor General flagged several ministries, you know. She flagged the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Culture. Almost every single ministry was flagged for misappropriation, irregularities, lack of oversight. Look at the conditions of our road. Well, labor rights and PNP drive on the road. So if we can agree on anything, we can agree that the roads are terrible. Spark, disgrace. Spark didn't work. They had to create another initiative. Go rehabilitation. No initiatives working under Nesta Morgan's ministry. The roads are just terrible. No outrage from the people. Now the audit, something that should really hit us in our way, it's still not hit with the way it should. Because now the Auditor General has made a discovery that from Hurricane Beryl, this government has refused to spend millions of dollars given in cash donations to help the people of this country. 1.44 billion given, only 26 million spent. And labor rights don't have a problem with that. Labor rights have family members in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, and in other places. I tell you, labor rights will see the Prime Minister and his administration slit the throat of their children, and they will still shout 1 p.m. They are willing to see this administration unalive the baby on the breast because they are labor rights. They have no problem with it. Let us pray. Father, we give you thanks for your mercies. We give you thanks for another program. We give you thanks for the viewers. We give you thanks for the persons who supported the Super Chat and those who support behind the scenes. We give you thanks, Lord, that you are still in control and that we have life. But Lord, looking down in Jamaica, I'm pretty sure you are wondering what is happening in this country. And you know better than all of us that there are some corrupt politicians in our midst. They continue to enrich themselves. They continue to use money for other things. Everything else but for the bettering of the lives of our people. Lord, shake this country, shake Garden House, shake this government, rid it of the corruption. If they are not willing to change, remove them by one way or the other. The people are at their wits' end. People cannot deal with this anymore, I am sure. Many are afraid to protest because the government has weaponized the JCF against its own people. My God, unprecedented times. But Lord, you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, above all that we could ever ask or even think. So we are keeping the hope alive and we are looking to you, the author and the finisher of our faith. Continue to expose, though. Continue to lift the skirts. Continue to lift the carpet. People are waiting and we're watching to see more truths coming to the front. These and other mercies we ask of you in Jesus' name. Amen. Bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m. We don't have... Oh, no. Tomorrow is Clarion Call. Tomorrow is Friday. I thought tomorrow was Saturday. Tomorrow is Friday. Just a quick reminder again. Craving your support. I'll be on Smile Jamaica with Simone and Neville at 7 a.m. talking about our children. The children, they are the future. It shouldn't just be a fancy saying or a catchphrase, but we should really and truly have serious conversations about how we can really and truly impact the future of this country in a positive way. So join me tomorrow at 7. Tomorrow we will have Clarion Call, and tomorrow we'll have our evening program. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Respective family, big up yourself every time Perry the General. Go and do it, comrade. The word is love. Where we are go do? Police them a kill off, use the tree on the roads. Where we are go do? The price gone up on the JLP let loose. Where we are go do? Times are hard and politicians don't have a clue. Where we are go do? Where we are go do? Aye, time for trust and keep the faith to help us win this race. Poor people now no food, all them see a empty plate. And the rich them getting richer, them fi burn up in the lake. Promises they make, but enough of them are fake. But black love divide, put politics aside. A time for we unite, a time for do the right. We have to start by speaking truth and not the lie. Perry set the trend, we have to unite. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a tile. And all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time for love not hate. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a tile. And all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time for love not hate. Hey. Oh.
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Oh. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing those in trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the house in trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the house in trust what people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the use, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well,